I told you there was something on the way. Wasn't there? I mean, you have a band that puts out like an early tease after, a little while since their last album, and you're thinking, okay, something's on the horizon, we're gearing up, right? Maybe a special release, a special track coming out. I mean, SHINEDOWN did have one, Atlas Falls, or was it Cloud? I forget. It wasn't Cloud, I think it was called Atlas Falls. But they had that little track that came out during 2020, I think it's 2020, maybe it was 2021, like early, I don't remember exactly, but it was an enjoyable single. But you're still thinking, okay, this little tease came out recently, right? We saw those little logo letters. What's on the horizon? Apparently, I think the album name's Planet Zero. I might have that wrong, but the song name is at least. Or maybe this is the title track, you can refer to it as such. But either way, we have some new music from SHINEDOWN. I love this band. I've been a fan for a long time, actually. And I've wanted to do more music reactions on this channel. As I've been saying, you can see Starset as the launch pad for this. And I've been wanting to open the door up to more groups that perhaps are favorites of mine that release new tracks. And just sharing that interest, because again, I love talking about music, and for me, it's something I've always wanted to talk about on YouTube, even more so than many of the other types of entertainment products I look at, whatever genre or medium of entertainment that might be. Music for me I have a much deeper reverence for it for many different reasons, my own story or just my experiences overall of listening to music, especially at least the music I listen to on my playlist. It's very real, it's very deep. That's why I love we can talk about that. And this song has a bit of a deeper message to it. I haven't seen the video yet. I haven't even listened to the song yet. And I recently covered, actually, as of a couple minutes ago, Hailstorm, The Steeple. Now, as another track that I got on my phone early, and I couldn't listen to it, because I'm like, okay, I want to listen to it you guys first, so I'd sit there and wait. Same thing at Planet Zero. So now we get to listen to it together. I've been waiting for at least a little while. I meant to be a bit sooner on the ball with this. But let's go ahead and give this a listen. And we're going to go ahead and watch this first, the main music video, and of course, listen to it. And as well, I will pull up the lyrics, too, should you feel so inclined you want to read what the song is saying. That'll be highlighted somewhere on the video. I'm not sure where exactly yet. I'll figure that out in post. But we'll go more in discussion of it after the fact. And this song also has, like that other song I just like with Hailstorm, this has a bit of a deeper message to it. It's kind of interesting and very relevant, it seems. But a good one to talk about. Without further ado, Planet Zero. I've waited long enough. Here we go. That's an interesting opening. Good quote. Good rough start. He's an absolute beast of lyrics, and the tune is great. You can listen to him on I forgot the name of the track, but the one he did with Apocalyptica. Incredible singer. Good structure to the song overall.
Out here on Planet Zero, we live like no tomorrow. I think we've reached our ceiling. They're canceling your feelings.
That word choice is very on point. You look at the message of the song, we'll get into that. Oh, that's good. I can't wait to see this live. If I ever have the opportunity. That'd be great. I imagine this is going to play very well in the concert scene. Good lead in.
7,
Yeah, the countdown's a nice touch, too. So those writers are obviously maybe just in this video. I'm trying to see maybe they have a deeper meaning. The darker key choice is just great. Very ominous. And the visual effects are great. It's taking a while for this track to go. Just under a minute. Oh, that's great. I love it. Hey, this would be like Star Set all over again. Just the iconography, the the track endings, the interludes. Maybe they're going for more of a Star Set vibe.
Welcome to Planet Zero.
This was what was featured in the teaser, though, in terms of the audio. Remember, right?
Regulations require that you check
They got the automated voices.
speech, protected classes, and accepted behaviors. We hope that you enjoy your stay. And as always, remember to start your day with outrage.
It's funny if you're a Star Set fan. Like, is Shinedown going full Star Set? Because that's kind of their thing. The automated voices, again, the iconography. The automated voices specifically uses the transitions between different tracks. I don't know. Maybe it's just Shinedown's like, we just wanted to do something creative. They didn't even think about that. I don't know. But that, I mean, hey, I appreciate it. The vocal style on that is excellent. I cannot wait to listen to that in the car. It's going to play very... And granted, I put my volume, like, on max. Probably maybe louder than I should. But, I mean, that's... Rocky just is better that way. But Brent Smith's vocals, particularly aggressive here, and the varying degrees in terms of where it hits. You think sometimes it sounds like a more middle-of-the-road emotional track, but then it kind of has that ominous change to it at the end, or it just kind of that foreboding. A minor? Is that kind of what I'm thinking of? Maybe I'm wrong on the key, but I'm not exactly sure. I don't know. I did piano years ago, so I'm trying to kind of fall back on that, but that was like an eternity back. The song is really good. I've never seen Shinedown live, and I really want to go watch them, but that song is going to play very well on stage. But if you're a rock enthusiast like me, or rock metal, this is so up my alley. I like it. The lyrics, though, are very potent. As I said, very relevant. If you look at them on a deeper level, and as I said, I already pulled those up for you. Maybe you wanted to read those differently. I have them pinned down in the comments as well. But the lyrics are very deliberate in places. It's a very ominous picture. Pain, like, better pray for the soul of the citizen, pray that you're not erased on your knees for the life you're living. And then you sit there and think, okay, this is like a very ominous picture. It could be anything. I mean, this could be like a post-apocalyptic world. I mean, even the scenery was similar to what Starset's done in the past. Notably with The Breach. I'm sorry. I cannot help but see the comparisons. Anyway, maybe again that's going to play more to the narrative of the piece. But the chorus is very on point. Like, out here on Planet Zero, we live like no tomorrow. I think we've reached the ceiling. They're canceling your feelings. That is not an off-the-cuff or flippant use of words, I don't think, when you pair that with the message of the overall album, as what's been articulated with some of the other statements, which we'll get into. But it's very specific. They're murdering our heroes. It's a grounded piece. So even if the video is perhaps more futuristic or imaginative, I mean, hyper-realistic, but imaginative in many capacities, it's a piece that you feel like, are we living on Planet Zero right now? And it seems like that's the philosophy of this album. And again, I don't know this for sure. I've only pulled up a couple headlines here, or from some different places. And maybe some of these are just like fan queries. I'm not exactly sure, at least on one page I'm going to look at. But, let me see. Billboard did an article about this. I like the quote. The article's titled, it's "Shinedown, a Dystopian Planet Zero album. This one tried to kill me a couple times." I don't know, like the album is trying to fight back, but the message is actually very strong if you listen to it. So it says, our Shinedown's Eric Bass, this is the one giving the quotes in the article. Apparently he refers to the United States as Planet Zero. Quote, "That was my nickname for it. It seemed like there was zero intelligence, zero tolerance for anybody's opinion, zero accountability for anything. We kind of looked at each other and were like, let's write a song about what's going on Planet Zero." I like that creative inspiration. Look at the world around you. It's something that you might see in the film industry where you're like, okay, there's a movie, if someone, or maybe the creator or the writer, looking at the world around them or looking at, their own lives to articulate how they feel or, just what they think about life or just a certain situation. So to integrate that realism and turn it into an artistic expression, right? It's kind of the philosophy. I fall back on the book title, even though I haven't read the book yet, I need to. One of my favorite groups, Icon for Hire, the lead singer Ariel, she put out a book a while ago, Turn Your Pain into Art. I love that title, because that's what many artists do, right? Especially the ones that are so strong in regard to their expression, the ones that really resonate with people on a deep level. Right? That's when you feel that the adversity in life, whether it's personal or extrinsic, and it's more so from your perspective, you're just an observing witness. It's a way to communicate real truths to perhaps people that, again, enjoy a certain mode of art, like music, right? And find that a means to accept and appreciate that message on a deeper level. It's the creative agent that allows that message to be fostered. But this is particularly grounded if you read into the specifics on at least, I don't know if the article was in it. Well, you read at least on that quote we just read from the Billboard article where it says, it seems like there is zero intelligence, zero tolerance for anybody's opinion, zero accountability of anything. It does mirror particular issues we're dealing with. Okay, the article actually does go on. Let me see. I've got ads popping up though. This is ridiculous. Because I'm like, okay, I'm trying to read the quote, but if you pull up an ad, I can't read it. It sounds really deep. So the quote goes on, "There's a lot to unpack with the record," or Brent Smith saying this, but ultimately this is a record about pulling the curtain back. When we started writing, it was like, do we do the crystal ball method, try to write about 3 years from now, because it's not always going to be like this, it's going to get better. And ultimately what happened was things just were not getting better, and things were even getting more divisive. We've always been an honest band, so it was impossible not to write about what we saw going on. These narratives that are being pushed out are just dividing us. We feel like it's really dangerous. Starting to see where the connection is happening here, and I'm going to get into maybe more what that could be deliberately. But this is from the band's articulation. Bass adds, I'm assuming it's Bass, I don't know for sure. Bass adds that Planet Zero and its forgive me if it's a mispronunciation. Planet Zero and its title track are a glimpse into the future if we continue with the way we're treating each other. I love that message. The record is a warning in a lot of ways to everyone. It's not a record for the right or for the left, for black, white, Asian, Hispanic. It's a record for all of us. So that is a quote from them. I wondered about that because there's Song Facts has a couple quotes that were pulled. I didn't know if that was like fan queries of what they imagined the song to be, or if that's what the band actually said. So I'm glad to see some clarity on that point. There are a lot of really inspiring songs, the quote goes on, a lot of songs with a lot of humanity in them, but it's a glimpse into the potential future, and it's a warning that if we don't start to do everything through a human lens, we could be headed for a really, really bad place. This is a message that, again, it's been lingering on my heart for some time. And I'm not, I like the way that they approach this. It's not, but they're specific in the way they say that the album, I guess, the record as a whole, it's written from an apolitical sense. And it's more so just, again, looking from the world through human eyes, right? Which is, I'm not the most politically engaged. I tend to be more, maybe it's my Christian sensibilities. I kind of throw around the definition of where exactly these traits that I can recognize within myself came from. But I don't look at the world necessarily through a political lens in regard to how to foster edifying change. Because oftentimes politics is just such a messy landscape. I'm very human-centered, and it might be because of my Christian faith. It might be because of my experiences, which I haven't dived into too much. But as a slight self-promotion, if you'll forgive me, but you music fans, and those of you who like watching my music coverage and stuff, you'll enjoy this. I've advertised this previously as well. I have a new channel coming pretty soon. It's called Symphonies and Small Talk. I mean, pretty soon, being a couple months, but it's going to be online. I'm hoping for the release date of January 1st, 2023. that channel is going to allow me to get into music on a much deeper level. And perhaps, I don't know yet, I have to look at the list, but maybe SHINEDOWN will make an appearance there as well. And that's going to be, I mean, the reason I'm breaking the two up. I love doing music reactions on this channel, and I'll continue to do that for like fresh listens. But there's a lot of music that I've listened to already, or that's just been with me throughout the years, you know, that's inspired me or touched me in some way, or it's just been really good music to listen to, and I want to promote good art. That channel is going to give me the doorway to do that, as well as many other things. I'm very excited to get that channel online. It's going to open a lot of doors to access for me, and I just cannot wait for that channel to come on. So if you're interested in music reactions, I would recommend you subscribe, and yes, be patient, but the channel will be online in January 2023. I hope by the 1st. I'm going to try really hard to not be behind on that one. There's a lot of preparatory work I got to do, which is why I'm saying that one far in advance. It gives me time to catch up on all this other stuff as well that I'm behind in on this channel and some of my others as well. But that channel, I can't wait to launch it. If you like music reactions, it's going to be a whole lot more of that. Or if you like even analyzing music, there's going to be even more stuff, I think, just even listening to the tunes. We're going to go in deep on things. A lot deeper than you might think. And that's going to touch maybe parallels of where I'm going here. That I won't go into necessarily specifics, other than saying, as I tried best, I don't know how to clearly define it. But I don't look at the world necessarily through a political lens in regard to how to find relationships and commonality of other people, or to even find healing for a world that's, I think we would all agree right now, very disrupted in whatever ways that might be, emotionally, ideologically, theologically. There's just morally, I mean, all people are different, right? We don't live in a perfect world, right? We're not all homogenized, nor in many ways should we be. But I wish, you know, I look at the world oftentimes with a lot of, from a dreary disposition. Not that I'm saying like, well, I'm just like a miserable, you know, person. That's not what I mean. Just that I look at the world and I'm saddened by the conflict that I see, and the animosity and the anger, and the division. I just don't like seeing it. Maybe partly because my childhood was surrounded in that, perhaps. And maybe it's just, again, a practical attribute that's just evolved with me over time. That's just, you know, now I'm a grown adult, and I don't know. I see my life mirrored generally, and I don't like what I'm seeing. It's a sad picture. Music is a great avenue to bring people together. This is something, you know, that, as I said, looking at the previous track, The Steeple with Hailstorm, right? They made an analogy in that song to the concert experience being like a church, right? When you think of church, it's a very healing environment. In the concert, it can be that way as well, for people to find commonality where they might not necessarily feel the most. I certainly didn't with my music taste. I don't have many people in my life that, you know, resonate with me. I just don't. I oftentimes do feel like a bit of an oddity. It's very similar here, what I see articulated with this quote and the philosophy of this album, to what I heard there of people, you know, searching for, to whatever degree that might be, healing, right? Whether that be for oneself or for the world. People want to see life. You know, people want to be happy, right? People want to live in a positive, uplifting world. Music can be a great agent, as many of our forms of art can, to, at the very least, inspiring that spirit. And that's kind of what I see with this album, even if perhaps, again, it's a bit more dystopian, even if it's diving into the darker issues, right? There's still an element of analysis that we can see and derive a feeling of, okay, we want happiness. This is the pathway forward, right? This is where we're at now. This piece grounds us. And even in maybe the year since, we can look back on this and be like, you know, we've seen how much we've changed, right? And still enjoy, of course, a great track. What this is, it's going to play very well on stage. But it's just a fun track to listen to overall. I can't wait to hear it in the car. But it's a track that I think will resonate in terms of the spirit for a very long time. It certainly will today. If you look into the substance of these, I don't know if all these quotes, some of the quotes there, again, were more grounded. But I'm reading some snippets off of the song facts page, and I don't know, some of it is, there's a quote on top, the top search, and they're actually put down cancel culture. Like, okay, is that articulated by the band? And I don't know if it is or not. I can see that in the track. I mean, I think the word canceling in the lyrics is very deliberate. I don't think they use that word flippantly or just off the cuff. I think it's meant to allude to that, even if they're not directly saying cancel culture in the song. But this Sound Fact says Planet Zero was SHINEDOWN's take on cancel culture, but I don't know if that's quoted from them. The stomping heavy rock track is a warning to everyone not to shut down those we disagree with. If we do, we risk losing empathy, respect for one another, and our ability to communicate. The better way is to bite your tongue when someone shows seeds of that's against the prevailing ideology. Then we unify in a way that leads to actual progress and understanding. That sounds like someone said that. I don't know. Well, this article is tagged here from that quote from American Songwriter. So doing a word search, that's not on the article. This one goes more into like the dystopian themes. If you want to read this entry, it's actually it does, well, the article does ground this quite well into reality. It sounds like somebody analyzed the message of the piece, which I agree with. Again, I see that employed. It's just I don't think what's written on Songfacts, I don't think it's a direct quote from the band. But I think you can extrapolate that to mean that if you read the article from the American Songwriter, again, that one that's referenced within that little snippet, because the message does stand out. It's a very interesting track. If that is indeed the intention of Shinedown, or I guess maybe Brent Smith or the people behind the group, in terms of the philosophy of Planet Zero, or at least one of the elements they speak to that's creating disunity, I think that's a great one to touch on. Again, it's a very grounded example, and one that certainly needs to be addressed, one that many of us have been addressing for a very, very long time. But it seems, most people are starting to come into or getting more articulate about it these days, which is nice, because cancel culture is an absolute disease. If that is indeed what they were talking about, I'm glad to see Shinedown hopping on. And even if not, maybe not necessarily as directly, maybe that's just, again, what someone's extracting from the statements made. I'll read the article more in depth after I finish covering this today. But I absolutely love Shinedown. Love the track. It plays very well, even if it's very Starset-esque. But I love the idea and the intention, the lyrics, the way it's written, the brash singing, the vocals, even the music. Again, the darker key nature to it. I think it was like a minor key. Good touch. I love it. It's going to play very well in my car and on my headphones, I'm sure. It did at least on these, but these aren't my best headphones. I got another pair. It's more phone appropriate. The sound comes out better. But I cannot wait to listen to this in the car. And I can't wait for the new album to come out whenever it does. I don't know the specific release date, but if more tracks get released, I like the idea behind this album. I do want to do more music reactions, so do not be surprised if I cover Shinedown in the future, whether it be on here, namely for the new album, or perhaps, again, I have to look at my sheet, but Symphonies and Small Talk, when that debuts, you might see Shinedown pop up once or twice. Who knows? What are your guys' thoughts of Planet Zero? I like that. I can't wait to hear the rest of the album. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Don't forget all the good stuff for liking, subscribing, sharing that bell. Until we get to watch more from Shinedown perhaps in the future on this channel or the other one, or whatever we get to listen to or watch together for the first time next. I will see you guys then. But until that point, thanks for watching this video. I love you guys. Don't forget to love yourselves, your fellow man. God bless and peace.